say that was goody. Happy New Year's Eve to everybody. Kramer, everything. What's happening, man? Back to the show, man. We're chilling. It's another special edition, man. I'm your host, Akila, man. Got a special guest, man. Superstar. What's good, my doggy?
What's happening, boy?
Introduce yourself, my nigga.
How you doing?
Yeah.
My name is Frostbite.
Yeah.
AKA the Multi. And you call me that because I sing, I shoot.
What type of shoot?
Yeah, you know, I shoot.
I got you.
I shoot, and I'm the best R&B DJ in the city.
That's what's up, dog.
Yeah.
Superstar.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Special house. Yeah, that's what's up, dog. By the way, man, it's just gonna be a conversation. It's not gonna be an interview. We just want to relax. Let me the homies.
Okay.
We got niggas in the background, chill vibes, you know. So yeah. Is there anything you guys want to ask or something?
I thought it wasn't an interview.
Nah.
All right.
Just to break the ice, dog. Don't worry
Aight.
about the air. Hold on. This is a simple question. You understand? Huh?
Hey, man, don't ask me none from... Hey, man.
Just do.
Hey. Nah, this nigga one of my oldest friends. I known this nigga since 2002.
That's what's up. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He's one of the, 10 people whose numbers I know by head.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So that's how long I know this nigga.
You guys go way back.
So he can't ask me shit. 'Cause I'm trying to...
That's why we have him here, bro. We need those questions, bro. Understand? The heavy shit. The wild shit.
Hey, man.
That's what's up, though. Yeah.
I haven't lived a wild life, you know what I'm saying? I'm actually pretty vanilla compared to everybody else in my industry and everybody else my age. I could have lived a life like that. But you know, I'm a mama's boy, man. I'm a mama's boy, and I always be thinking, sometimes when an opportunity presents itself to do some epic but more on the illegal side shit, I was thinking to myself, hey man, I'm gonna go back to Botswana and I'm gonna be on TV and my mama's gonna be like, hey,
seeing all that and whatnot.
what the fuck did you do? So, you know, that's actually saved me from a lot of, you know, trouble in my life. Yeah.
But how's it been, dog? Everything, my nigga.
Let me tell you something, man.
Personal life, everything.
Being a creative in Botswana is very frustrating.
I got you.
It's very frustrating because, you know, I started DJing in 2006.
Oh shit, yeah.
I started DJing in 2006. When I got to Monash, I met a big homie called King. Mm-hmm. He introduced me a little bit more to the game. I took over from him.
I got you.
So yeah, I was in charge of the school sound system. I was the school's resident DJ at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
There was a bar called Chill Out over there.
I feel you.
So yeah, I used to play over there. That's really where I started. And then at the mall next to our school, there's a Stones,
mm-hmm.
which is a franchise sort of clubs. Yeah. So then I got a residency at Stones.
I feel you.
And that's when I started really trying to...
Is that after photography?
Nah, photography came later than
DJ. Yeah. Right.
I did the DJ thing. I had a little bit of success with it. You know, there's a couple of very legendary nights that I shared stages with big guys. Most notably Mano.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember Mano? I think I might give away $1 million.
Sometimes I wonder why I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, that dude. Yeah. That was one of the most notable ones. But yeah, and then I came back to Botswana. But I came back to Botswana with the arrogance of...
Shit, I'm that nigga that side.
I'm a big deal this side. Mbulele Lebati type thing.
But it's a different game.
Did those niggas not look at me and say, who the fuck are you?
Yeah.
And I think I'm glad I got humbled by life in that way because, you know, then I kind of came down to earth a little bit, and I realized I'd have to build from scratch, which is what I did. And when I was that side, I was a house DJ, but I'm an R&B nigga through and through. You know,
I got you.
R&B influences a lot of how I act.
I feel
my idea of love was shaped by that genre. My idea of life, my idea of how a man is supposed to behave.
Got you.
Was shaped a lot by R&B. I listened to a lot of Joe Thomas, Montel Jordan, Boys to Men, Backstreet Boys, Niggas used to mock me for that shit in
I
high
feel
school.
you.
Yeah.
Lover boy vibes.
Yeah, yeah.
So you're a lover boy, innit?
Too much, dog. Shut up, baby. What's up? But like,
We
yeah.
those niggas who sing. to the
Yeah,
shorties.
yeah, I'm damn straight.
Yeah, that's
Damn
what's up,
straight.
yeah.
Your brother used to make fun of me all the time.
I would perish right now. That's what's up. Nah, I get you.
Yeah. I'm an R&B nigga. So when I picked up the headphones again, I decided to go that route.
I got you.
So I started playing R&B, and there's the likes of DJ Kells and O'Neal that made it cool to play that genre.
Yeah.
And so I just sort of followed suit,
I got you.
and I was killing shit. And I think because it's something I loved, is really why I'm so successful at it. Because it's something
Second
that
nature.
Yeah,
I
really,
feel
is. It's second nature.
So when you say you're building, dog, because I know what are the gatekeepers and stuff. So
Yeah.
when it comes to building, are you building a relationship with the gatekeepers or?
The gatekeepers can do everything but they can't ignore what the people want. They can't ignore the people's wishes. You know what I'm saying? So I position myself in a way that if an event poster comes out and I'm not on it, I've gotten to a point where people are like, man, why isn't First Bar on this?
Yeah.
Right? Because
And I've seen those.
it's been through sheer fucking hard work and sheer
I feel you.
like when you get the opportunity, you rock. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, there was a lot of arrogance in my younger years, but now I'm a little bit more mature, I'd like to think.
I feel you.
And so I'm able to like take failure
I got you.
a little bit. I'm able to handle failure a little bit better.
That's what's up.
And I'm able to also like walk into rooms like I was just saying off air now.
Yeah.
And seem like I belong there. I no longer have that fear of, oh no, Ronaldo Brazil.
Yeah. Gotta start doing this one.
Because when you the rappers like saying it ain't tricking if you got it. You know what I'm saying? And I can't, I back it up with my shit.
I feel
like
you.
I'll talk my shit. And then I'm able to back it up.
Got you.
Right.
I've heard there's like an initiation when you get into the game, like entertainment.
Initiation
Like
of what
in terms of like when you start playing or performing or whatever, MC, DJ, artist or whatever, you don't get paid for some time.
Absolutely.
Just for exposure and stuff.
Absolutely. Sometimes you go as long as 3
That's
years.
what happens.
Sometimes you go as long as 3 years without
3
your
years,
first,
dog.
without your first paying gig. Yeah.
Shit. Just to be out there, nah.
Yeah. And you can imagine, like I'm saying to you, coming from where I'm coming from, and now having to like suck a lot of dicks that really should be sucking my dick, but because of how they.
Is it literally? Oh no. Hey, you need to make sure, dog. What? Suck my dick, motherfuckers.
Nah, not literally, but
I
like
got you. Nah, just play. Yeah.
you got a dick ride, in the entertainment industry, and then after you do your fair share of that, you have to make sure that nobody ever makes you do that shit again.
Do you think you end up developing that feeling where now when you get to that place, what the fuck it, niggas gotta suck my dick?
Nah,
I had to do that.
I'm actually very. I really like they should nickname me Piron because that's what I do. Yeah, I had the residency at Primi, for the most part of last year. I had the Saturday residency, so I was allowed to invite 2 guests to come and showcase their talent.
Yeah.
There's a lot of niggas I put on through that initiative. I'll be like, yo, guys would hit me up and go, hey, I'm an upcoming DJ. I want to play. Primi is hot right now. Choco Paslote. Them niggas will tell you, there's nobody I refuse. I'll be like, hey, man, can you... and how you don't matter like
I got you.
You asked for
You
the chance,
fucking
I
up,
gave it to you.
You feel like you're the one doing that? Like
Nah. There's a couple of niggas.
Yeah.
Most notably, another old friend of mine, Do The Party.
Oh yeah.
Do The Party I've known since 2000.
Shit.
So I known that nigga 22 years. That's one of the most creative motherfuckers I've ever met in my life.
Got you. Yeah.
And that nigga, that shit's running through his veins. That nigga writes TV shows, he produces them.
Nigga.
He raps, he's a fucking radio host. He kills that shit. You know, and he's like king of put on as well. He and he's in a better position to unearth talent
I got you.
because he works with radio. So they submit and he's like, oh shit, this shit is fire. Who's this kid? And he's able to then say, hey, come to my radio show. Let me put a little bit of spotlight on you. Maybe somebody you will hear.
That's what's up.
And maybe you'll get a check. You know what I'm saying? So he's one of the people I know is really like heavy into like trying to build the industry.
I got you.
There's OB Digital, Obakeng Kokwe.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to that big homie. He's also like a really big put on king. So there's a lot of big homies that are trying to really do it. But it's hard to be a put on king in Botswana because there's not enough for us to share. You understand? Like the industry isn't big enough for us to all make money.
I feel you.
So if you get to the point where it's either I put you on and you make the check over me, then I'm obviously gonna choose myself because you know they've made it so that we don't have a big enough pie to share.
Who's they?
All the stakeholders, bro.
I got you.
You know, state media doesn't play our shit. I'm talking about TV and stuff.
I feel you.
They don't play our shit. When you put it, it's hard. I mean, it's easy to reach the ceiling in Botswana.
I feel you. Yeah.
Right. If let me give you an example. MT dropped Roll Up. That one song did
the most.
So much.
Yeah. I feel you.
You got
Uncle Waffles Tanzania.
You understand? Uncle Waffles blew off of one fucking video.
Yeah, one video. Yeah,
she started fucking playing. When she did the Adiwele thing, she blew up off of that. We haven't created an atmosphere or an environment conducive enough for that much growth.
You think it's jealousy
to happen? Nah.
What is it?
It's jealousy, but then it's also ignorance. It's also complacence, because it's a thing where they've gotten so comfortable with mediocrity that I mean, look at Malaga. Malaga's a dope ass fucking editor.
That's what's up, yeah.
Right? She's a dope ass fucking editor, and you know, with the type of skill she possesses, the type of skill the people around her possess, we shouldn't still be watching mediocre TV.
I got you. Yeah.
Right? We shouldn't still be listening to mediocre music. But when you look at nominees for all our award ceremonies, the ones that we actually do happen, we do have the ones that actually do happen, the productions are so terrible. The fucking...
I think it happens because of the small population.
Population can't be an excuse for us forever, sucks.
No, but you're like the squad. I don't know if there's a production team. Why do you have a camera? I'll shoot. Mari, you just got it yesterday or 2 weeks back or whatever. Type shit. Nah. Something like that.
You talking about favors in the industry?
Type shit. Yeah. You get me? So
you're talking about favors. That, you know, every industry thrives off favors. And when I owe you, you owe me, and then he owes you, and then that's really the way of life.
I feel
that's how it is everywhere. I just feel like favoritism or you know, bukru shouldn't apply everywhere. I feel like at some point, merit should also enter the conversation.
I got you.
I should make it through by virtue of me being good. Huh?
Yeah, the mic there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I should make it in the industry and in corporate by virtue of me being good at what I do.
I got you. Yeah.
But it's gotten so that get a favor.
Get a favor.
And like I come type because your dad owes his dad a favor, and it's a line. It's a fucking cycle, and people don't really get to see the best that B-Dub has to offer because.
But like you said about the ceiling, do you think it's because if the ceiling is here and Rotlere Shapa with full potential, according to the ceiling, when we get to the top of the ceiling, unlike in other countries, SA, there's no ceiling.
There is no ceiling. And you know what?
Waffles is it mid-air, go space, and then somebody it's just open space. And one is the ceiling. So Rotlere to the ceiling over is like, fuck.
And there's nowhere else to go but down after
you
that.
Understand?
That's the other thing.
Yeah. You get me?
Ba bogologolo wa ntlhaloganya go na le dibra tse re itsoheletse mo ba tsohetse ba santse ba DJ ga ba le sutelo na ba le tlang ko class
Fresh blood.
ba le khonang gore o some o mo bona ga ba le tlelle da ide instead they bring you down
But none nakana skagishi. I'm old. I'm part of the old school. I rebranded and then I came up as something else. But sharp.
okay the ancestor
That's the reason why I'm very willing to put on youngsters, because that's the only way the game is gonna continue.
Got you. Yeah.
And like when you look at who plays, nobody plays R&B, dog. Literally, when somebody says R&B party, literally the same names are gonna come up. Mine on top of obviously, but you know the same names are gonna come up.
Yeah.
And it's not a genre that I think should die.
I feel you. Yeah.
Right? And so when you put on a youngster, you are making sure that there's continuity in the genre that you love. You're making sure that there's continuity in the industry that you love. But how you kakapella? Yeah, no. How hell and you're too old to perform and climb the things.
Yeah.
I
feel you.
Yeah, no. Who's the next Kwaza king?
You know what I think is powerful about R&B, dog? It's because I wonder if the ladies love you, you're gonna succeed, dog. Fuck the niggas. If what I mean, dog, when you play certain songs, there's gonna be some ladies who are fuck my first boyfriend or something. Oh, the throwback songs, R&B, like fuck this. Oh, I remember this. Fuck.
That's why I play
So they're
R&B.
reminiscing. What one?
That's why I play R&B, and I play R&B with keys in my mind that I'm only playing for them.
Yeah.
I couldn't care less if you niggas sit still.
I got you.
I don't give a fuck.
Where's like you're playing for yourself? Like fuck.
I'm playing for the women.
so you made it find out something
I'm gonna
going over nila no
right no man.
you made you find out
Ne, di medi di fandela music go go sameka. Ga go tshwana le di medi di fandela nna.
as a package okay
Nya that's a package.
Serious, dog?
Nah.
I feel like it's a package.
no more committed relationship
Okay, committed. That's why I get it. No, that's package. I can give them my package after the show. Did you record? Nah, but
This nigga here, man.
I feel you.
Yeah.
So, what do you think is missing, Yano? What do you think needs to happen for that ceiling for it? Completely. Where it's like free, Yano, where anybody can do whatever. Because now it's like nobody can do whatever.
You're not kanyene we bua like that. O bona di gatekeeper.
Yeah.
And the gatekeeper gana ke batho ba ileng gore at some point they were us.
You see.
They were trying to hustle.
Yeah.
They were trying to, get to, but you see, you can't get to where they are without you the favor. So sometimes some of them are stuck because, now you've put somebody in a position of power and and that person, even if they're doing a bad job, because somehow. Ceiling ya Botswana, it also needs to start with mind frame ya creative. So we can't, like when I make music, right? When I get into the studio and I sing, in my mind, I'm picturing, best international artist.
I got you.
teams.
Yeah.
You understand? I'm picturing some bigger shit. I'm not trying to limit
not like
myself.
a local mindset.
Yeah, I'm not trying to limit myself to a Botswana man. Even though I'd really love my country's cosign before I try to export my shit.
Yeah.
ATI, had he wanted and had he had the right management and had he had the right attitude, could have been our biggest export by far.
Yeah.
Bigger than O'Neal, bigger than DJ Fresh, bigger than Connie Ferguson.
That's facts, yeah.
Right? Had he had the right team by his side. Which is another thing. We don't have management. We don't have management.
Plus the managers want to be superstars.
The managers want to be superstars as well. And so we don't have structures in place that allow for you to be bigger than going to Flavor Dome
I feel you,
and going to fucking Yarana FM for an interview.
I got you.
We don't have structures in place for that. We don't have publishers. We don't have distributors. We don't have any of that shit.
I feel you.
We don't have a pipeline to the rest of Africa. South Africans collaborate with Zambian artists, Nigerian artists, American artists because there's a market. We can't even
I feel you.
get. We try to. When I was a photographer, we try to do a union for photographers that would basically ensure that there's a minimum fee that you can charge as a photographer, and that going anything lower than that isn't allowed. Sort of like a minimum wage for our industry.
I got you.
Like we try to do that the same thing with the DJs, and we can't even we can't get along long enough to make sure that shit passes.
Yeah.
So when we try to present that shit to Agolane at the ministries and at the office of the president, we come off as a joke because Rona ourselves were not united. So it's easy for them to poke holes in our strategies, to poke holes into our appeals.
Shit, yeah.
Because we're not united, Rona, as ourselves. Right?
I think another problem, Happy, it's even I like the mind frame, the artist had, woman. Even the people that go on the Batswana and stuff, woman. Because Batswana only support you how we import you look at essay.
Yeah.
They don't export you, go essay.
No, they don't.
And South Africans do that though. They export, my nigga.
Yeah.
Piano by stake, we have piano back where we come from.
And guys are huge.
And then here they wait. Okay, whatever. And then and then when the South Africans start claiming you, that's when they're like, yeah, no, Botswana, that's ours. What the fuck?
Next time they get well out.
Yeah.
Obana industry, let's say in Algeria say bye.
A lot, dog.
For example, Ntonayane, William,
yeah.
Wabana Ruira. How got to level la honga post le music video mo Facebook. Dude, bafana ba bogolo ba mo industry ba mo khala wa bona. But we are 60 again. Jealous yela ka gore. Bona ba khona go tlola ho. Ena kana bona na o style ka kakwa. Ibile ka go South Africa ba amogetse. Ya ka ba amogetse culture space.
Exactly.
Kana from Rustenburg come this side. Hola culture space.
Dog.
Never ba amogetse go heta rona ba rel di local tsa rona. So I think another problem in Kanya jealous. Go ra khona go amogela gore okay. Ke heletse hard. O tshwana le bagolo ba ileng gore o heletse mo go form 3.
Exactly.
When how you lever city.
Hey, wa bona.
O tsa some type of way. How theogela o promote ya go Spain o feel wa bona mathata ke. Mathata a rona bondaki ra digana wa bona.
The nation is jealous.
Problem.
The whole nation is jealous.
No, all you have to do is look at a Facebook post to realize just how fucking bitter people are.
You understand?
Just how
like, bro.
And there was this other influencer of Botswana, and then people used to
I
say
think you
like,
can name her.
huh?
Okay, no.
Oh, then people would be on some, nah, he's not funny, he's what that, right? About posted like Nicki Minaj on her profile. Botswana gave out, Botswana stand up. Yeah.
Hey.
That's our boy. And I'm like, you guys are fake.
You understand?
So now he's funny all of a sudden because Nicki Minaj posted him. He's funny. He's deserving of your attention.
So now it gets to a point where how will that individual, or an essay, you're gonna identify as South African, because all the opportunities that you talk about, the adverts, the sponsorships, everything, it's that side, So you're even ashamed. Next thing about will sell out, whatever, and then it's the same cycle. The next person.
I'd rather be a fucking sellout.
Yeah, for sure.
In your eyes.
For sure.
And here's the thing, right?
Same here, dog.
Let me explain. Let me paint a picture for you. And this is something that I've actually this is from experience, my nigga. I started an NGO right out of varsity. It was an educational NGO. I called it the Restore Initiative. And I went to Nkwapiri Primary at the time, and banana wasn't about right? And most of the classrooms were dilapidated and windows were broken and whatever. And I was like, okay, well, I know a lot of people in corporate. If I go door to door in corporate and say, listen, I want to build 3 classrooms for the school so that the kids stop learning outside in winter and being cold and shit. I went to Plascon. They pledged paint for me. I went to a whole lot of places. There's a big homie, or quantity surveyor. He offered to do everything for free. There was some construction homies of mine who offered to do the construction at half the price. You understand? And we were able to I was able to garner all that support. I can't, as a private citizen, make changes to government property. Right?
Hey, dog.
So
Because how about you say?
Hey, dog.
clearly that's the reason.
Yeah.
And I wanted to do that shit like countrywide, my nigga. That thing, the mandate was you wanted to restore the schools, obviously, to like replace windows that are broken and roofs and all that shit. The second mandate was to tutor but not only just tutor them. But the students that got TTC, like all these teacher colleges, find people that are training to be teachers. It's a win-win because they get on the job training. They get how it is to actually teach an actual student.
Got you.
And the students get free tutors, right? So this is something that I'd wanted to implement in schools. Not for dog. At no fucking, I wasn't gaining anything from it.
I got you. Yeah.
Right? It's just I'm a Botswana and I want to improve Botswana, right? But nobody's gonna listen to me. But watch if I take that initiative, I go to Rwanda. The BBC covers my shit.
You understand?
And then I'm gonna come back here and they're gonna be like, oh man,
You did
love that initiative.
One of
Nigga,
ours.
what the fuck?
Raise
you
our
gave me?
flag.
It's the same shit. One of ours.
So if you wanna make any actual change in Botswana, you have to leave Botswana.
Facts.
And that's something I believe wholeheartedly.
Yeah, no, facts.
Wholeheartedly.
Facts. Even raising the flag, I think all the people should stop doing that. Go raise a flag, ya logo ya gago. Like if fully
100%.
athlete, we like taboga kobo Olympics, whatever. Sky similar mama because I was sponsored by these niggas are broke.
Yeah.
Is nothing. I want a sponsorship. There's no treatment over this guy international champion, woman, athlete, dog. You understand? There's nothing like that. I think the best thing is print the logo ya mo flagging. Every time we win a race, we don't know what country that is. Country I think that's the best thing, dog. We represent
You can't
You
get
and your
mad.
team.
You can't get mad at people.
yeah.
Because you've seen countless examples of athletes, individual, but like scholars, niggas that go to Harvard and,
You get me?
and do some amazing shit over there, and come back here and get claimed and struggle.
You understand?
Even after they've proven
Dog.
that, listen, I can represent you on a larger scale. Even after they've proven that shit, they still don't get the support.
I got you, dog.
I'm not saying the government must hand out money, bro. I'm not saying that. You understand? I'm saying let them, like, when was the last, have you ever heard of a scholarship yago mente for the arts?
Nah, never.
For sports.
I got you. Nah.
Yet, year in, year out, the athletics team shows you these talent here, and this is what we need to be focusing on. This is who we need to be grooming. Year in, year out, Let's breaks a record. Nigel Adams breaks a record. Fucking Isaac Makwala breaks a record.
Dog.
You guys are seeing it clearly alongside the rest of the world. And you're still doing nothing about it.
I got
You're
you,
still
yeah.
doing nothing to foster talent, to grow it. You're doing nothing, but it's there. Like, wow,
Feel you.
And
Bansa di
That's
pokwa.
fucked up, bro. What are they obsessed with? Farming. Hell, and the command.
Yeah.
Like here.
look, farming.
Beef.
Look, farming is
Beef
essential.
industry zedi.
Farming is
Farming
essential.
yala go na ba ratang.
I don't want to lie to you. It's essential. It's we should be focusing on farming.
No, but gonna we are need. I want. Tota is something similar to Gavi.
Yeah.
Like in a lot of things like that. I want as much as was not the manager, rata mu industry in lane. It's similar like when I graduate.
I got you, yeah.
I graduate about we say first. What's our internship? Why is it internship period for the first year? What I got the papat. The first year, you don't learn shit. One color. Second year, hell, how about since about confirm? What you got to know? Reference key. Rebita umu. One color in now. Kandele wana we in Halkova City. I want to musula or get.
Facts.
I don't know how the heads or roots are going to lega matsilonyana. We tell the shakumo. But whole lot of
Bro.
but monopolize the industry.
What's on this one, yeah? How I studies about medicine or something, how 15 years kana ba studies se ba ka se medicine lo ne o tla le betse melemo second first year we killing third year ha ba tswa da ha teng ha ba hetsa ba fosa go tla kwana akere come and work for the country. What those type of things wa bona go re ha o hetsa nteng when you can prove yourself o solid we prove it outside that's when
ba
they
go tshwara maoto
come through wa bona
ha o sentse re itshupe ba go tshwara
you
maoto
get me
o hetsa varsity re tla kere ba go tshwara maoto o reka diphapang
yeah.
so tota ela e tshwanetse go simola ko godimo
I got you, yeah.
go simola ko di-ministry tsone tse tsa di-arts leng tsa
What do you think they need? Because I feel like but West Bay International, West Bay, who prove okay, this thing. Both the athletes, MC,
fresh blood a bagolo ba chase
Abagolo batho ne.
a be go
Yona
lema
kganyane ke
Hey,
bua ya-
abagolo ba go
Abagolo batho,
lema
that's the only solution.
ga rena merogo mo Botswana
a re gore
a be go
o
lema
a re
Abe go
gore
tsaya
o-
melemo a sukiri.
be go fola di-line
Hey,
ko
hopefully
clinic.
line it up, mona.
Ko posong kwa ba
Melemo
tsaya madi
arthritis.
o bona go tsa bagolo like he was saying wa bona bona ba somana a buile maina bo mdu youngsters
That's what's up, yeah.
bagolo ba kae ba ha ise ba somana
None.
a ke re mogolo o tle ba re ha ke go soma you're gonna get more money than me
Wa bona.
o bo ile o bontho
Ubuntu.
but ha ya now how ntsomile I'm gonna owe you for life dog
Le
ha o
gore- le
itebetse
gore-
kana
le
gore a ke re
gore-
guess
le gore
ke
point-eng ene ke batla le gore ga go gona. Which is there's not enough space. There's not enough. The pie isn't big enough to share.
Mhm.
That's why our parents retire at 65
Mm.
because they genuinely can't afford to quit. That's why graduates are roaming the streets with degrees and nothing to do with those
ga se
degrees.
ka wa shebola mo
Eish, man. Everywhere.
Because you can't.
le dijo mo
Mo-
se se re sa itse re je go masima mo
Mosadi o 65 o sentse a palelwa ke- o sentse a tshela hand to mouth.
I get it.
So ga a kanya to step down, she's like, what the fuck are my kids gonna eat? What am I gonna eat?
I feel you.
And so there's no space for the graduate to then replace that 65-year-old.
Facts.
But retire hela ka gore anong dingwaga di be di setse di ile. But there's no in Botswana, there's no a gona chance. How many people do you know in Botswana who have retired 45, 50?
I get it.
Versus in South Africa, versus in fucking
This
Namibia.
is how my 39.
Guys,
38.
guys build something and they retire.
yeah, I did
we
the same thing.
haven't created that culture for ourselves as Botswana. Number one, number two, kganya generational wealth. If you think closely to all the rich friends we have, me and you, the both of us, how many of them have said to that children, hey, why not take over? Tla go nke go rute business. Kana ga botsa gore ka te papa re irang go lapeng madi a rona a tswa kae?
Eh.
O ska gore o batla go
When
itseng, o batla go itseng.
Cut that bit.
that's the
That's the BW culture. That's culture ya Botswana.
I get it.
e tirele
Itirele.
Concept ya generational wealth ga e yo mo go-
Hey, your dog.
That's why we will leave. Somebody's father will leave. We know a couple of them. Somebody's father will leave them 5 million. Ka September ya.
I hate it.
Ka January a gona za. We haven't created, guys, the structure mo Botswana di necessary, infrastructure mo Botswana necessary. That is why these Bomazisi will go and say, hey, fourth industrial revolution, hey, this and that. That thing can't happen. There's no structures.
Facts, yeah.
A hacker friend of mine who's based in Netherlands, mona ke hackele daddy mona ke driving license wo na ke itsa pa wa driving school. And daddy, yo, I can't hack your shit. It's way like e go morago.
Fuck.
It's outdated. Like
Come on, I imagine that.
there's
shit,
no
dog.
there's no structures that allow me to hack.
Oh, in order to hack, it must be the officing. That's deep, dog. How can you online?
You can't do
Must be-
shit. Everything is
Emma,
still in the
hey,
fucking stone age.
It's black and white, the screen ads. Pedilican. Shit. Dog, nah. If you had 100 million pula and all the resources, all the connections, all the reach, everything, dog. You had everything, and okay, all the top, the powers, whatever. The niggas holding the ceilings and 100M, but reborn. We need to change this. What are you gonna do? 100 million pula.
Right. Okay. So first things first. A couple of centers around the country that, because in Botswana we don't have a culture that cultivates any other talent that isn't academic. So if I'm an A star student and you're a C student, but you can rap your ass off.
Yeah.
Then I feel like there needs to be somebody in the government structure that identifies gore ngwana o gifted ka gongwe o itse go tshwantsha gongwe o itse go betla gongwe o itse go ira. Let's stop making kids that are otherwise talented feel like they're stupid because they're not academically gifted. So the first thing is gonna be a center. As a matter of fact, the whole entire fucking ministry that's dedicated to just cultivating the growth of the arts in the country. South Africa has a Ministry of Arts and Culture. They book all the artists. South Africa has so many genres of music. They've got Mbakanga, they've got fucking Kurt Darren, they've got fucking, Afrikaans. Steve Hofmeyer.
Steve Hofmeyer.
They've got Jack Barrow. Then on the other side of the fucking, sphere,
spectrum,
thank you very much of the spectrum, you have your MTs, your Aries, your Nasty C's,
Trappers, hip hop.
Trappers, hip hop. You've got
modern guys.
You've got Ntando who does Afro pop. You've got Ringo Madlingozi.
Dog.
You've got fucking Don Laka and Hugh Masakela, Thandi Somazwai. You've got all these artists I'm mentioning are huge, bro. They're huge, but they all stayed in their lanes. We have a thing where we all want to rap, or we all want to, do kwasa kwasa, or we all want to do kwaito. There's so much more to that. And we can add our own flavor to it. Like Timi does house music, but he does it in his language, Sisube. Team Distant became famous, became famous, Bobo, Kavengo, Oma. That's another language. It's house music, but it's an indigenous language that's the indigenous to Kasani. Kasani should be on Roy K's dick. They should be proud that, their native son is out there in Gaborone making music. And when he goes there, he needs to get a hero's welcome to say, listen, you're putting us on the map, right? But we don't have ownership of that.
I feel you.
I'm going to give you an example. Lobatse has an event. There's a group of guys that grew up in Lobatse. Some of them are from there, but some of them just grew up there. And they've got a collective. They call it Bandleng Wow Beats. BWOB. My nigga, everybody from Lobatse owns that event.
I feel you.
Right? They are proud of that event. And you will never see that event empty, my nigga. Why? Because everyone from Lobatse, from the guy that polishes your shoes to the CEO of FMB, who's from Lobatse, is not really from Lobatse, but I'm giving you an example. They are pushing that thing. They rock the merchandise. They rock the beanies. It's theirs. They own it.
Dog, it sounds like we're not a proud nation.
No.
We're not proud of anything that comes from here.
No.
Even Stwana. Mutagera content daga Stwana. But you tell a kiwi like a menoga kira kutu. But it's not wabana. But even Baba Irang music honan. Kabun tiba Stwana sakako. Sa essay. Stwana sakwa.
Balatla lezizulu.
Balatla lezulu. Bang basa si tu like sent yako. Like what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
They're not proud of Kuba Chante, waban.
Somebody
so it's not
me,
authentic, waban.
Somebody asked me how you would tell that somebody is from Botswana. Like, what is Botswana's identity? Like, when you look at a Kenyan youth, you see that guy's from Kenya.
Yeah.
See that guy's from Congo. That guy's from DRC. I mean, that guy's from Swaziland. All of them have some defining factor about them that immediately identifies them as where they're from. We are a mixture of a bunch of shit. And the only way I can know a woman is a Muzwana. The point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is there's no defining there's nothing that defines you as a Motswana youth. Like, what do you identify as? Like, what do you stand for as a Motswana?
No, I think it goes back to Kanyone no Ibu already. Hire one motaro tsana mo industry ena mo rap. Hona mo rap go ra ruireng, o tsa culture e senga ka kwa.
Exactly.
Ya bo mo rap, wa bona. Problem in na go no ho. Like o bona rona re ya ka Ibu, re tsamala se trender. Ha go trenda gore o lengise ra lengise.
Facts.
But we tell go go lengisiwang teng kwa ebile bona ha se.
Hedile.
Hedile,
O bala
ba
pele ga
di bona,
trend
wa
that
bona.
thing, like you guys still do that.
Kana ha go bona go SA motho ya ka o e bua wa Limpopo ke wa Limpopo
My
ha
nigga.
change kolo ya go lamang monada
Monada,
kana cherry o
Exactly.
Makadzi.
Now what are they singing here?
wa bona
Makazi hatla kwano. Kota ko sena kunomor. Basta ba itse monomora gora ha ga brain.
something
O sta
no we need
mare stona sisirile like gore nna we know language tse dintsi ka go.
kore ya ka e bua ya lobatsi gona di event di dintsi gona le bo ga bo motho wa moshopa o tla go tletse batho ba tswang seru wa moshopa ba ile kae born and raised or homecoming way bada kurra ra hapa
Sharp.
Monada how mo buka skakish.
no ha we show go Limpopo go sna monada
A monada mo
swag.
buka kwano o mora hore monada ke go kopa mo Botswana ka di 20 tsa ga January, just as an example. That guy is so popular in his hometown. He won't leave. He will tell you, nigga, I have 4 shows in Limpopo right now that are paying me what you're trying to offer me. But you want me to leave for price sale. I can't do that.
Yeah, that's a flex. I got. That's what's up. But it's a fact. Happy it's better how look at your people. Back when I can never eat some things. And then say, Dibala. I bet you hot and pat saying. Marhalida abai word for word or no.
That's what this man is saying.
You feel the energy at them because they understand the language at them. Oh, my people. So wow, feel out how fucking go say that.
Yeah. Rona, it's as if we want to escape our culture. Wawan.
Exactly.
But anything
Wow.
that just goes against our culture, we run for quickly. Kore ha motho a ta opera in a cultural way, he's wretched or she's wretched.
You understand?
You
Hey,
understand?
educated.
Wawan.
But that's where
yeah.
that's where the funny thing though is that those are the musicians that make the most money in Botswana.
You understand?
Now,
Look at that.
yeah,
But
those are the musicians.
culturally.
Yeah, those
No,
those are the musicians that make the most money.
Exactly.
And those guys, Baba Kako, that those guys, Bayira Madi dog. Those Baba Irang, look at Splash as a genre. Look at Den Chanda dog. That guy.
Hey,
And why? Because he stayed true to himself. People really appreciate authenticity in South Africa,
thanks.
right? And we don't have a single fucking person, maybe except Bomatien, Liberal Culture Spears.
bo Dr. Vom salansa pine wa
Yeah.
But it's the world, dog. The
sala
world.
tsa thobane le mwen
Level up.
o tla bola batho di ngwa tse tsotlhela shongwe le ngwe but o sha o mo le nya
Oh, una company at team.
wa bona I get you ke a go tshwara rora
Hey, I get
so eno mo le nya ga wa bona ya no ba bangwe ba kana no gona go setse go sielo kae ba ba siela go ise ha o siela go ise o ira gala first thing se ira gala ba go noka
Baonoka because
o tla
and that's another thing. You I can't jump into the ocean and want to swim with the fish. When I'm not a fish myself. No, I'm not a fish.
Oh, all right,
There's
I got
enough fish in the ocean. How are they gonna wanna listen to me who's not a fish? Like rather red.
A land dweller.
Yeah. So I can't go to South Africa and try to rap like MT and want to be accepted. What am I bringing that's different? Why is Culture Spears big that side? Because they're different. They're doing something that's that's that thing. You know, they're not trying to emulate anybody else.
I got you.
And when you try to do that, you come off as fake to everybody else because it's like, what do you mean I'm the next MT? Nigga, we already have an MT. Where's the new, you know, Amy? Where's the new Skakish? Where's the new Frostbite?
But
we don't want a copy of something. We want some original shit.
Yeah. And one thing people don't realize, Corey, the niggas in the States, but how not fake accent, like how rap, wanna come through now. Where's he from? Kanaba he puts that man accent that reads. It's not authentic. Look at BET. Shoma Josie. Una accused Kimoto. What's his name? Java. Shoma Josie. What's Java Mamang? Kiba never nominate to win a BET. It's not the guest, but pull up in the where I wanna pull up. In Zulu, by the authentic, but Tsonga by go BET. But Flora, we need something like this. Something we don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
When I it sounds off.
Manega, Burna Boy and Wizkid
And it's an insult.
are two of the biggest
Hey,
fucking
mona,
artists
mona.
in the world.
In the world, yeah, no.
But did they switch? Yes, they feature both Chris Brown in their songs. But Chris Brown no tla pela o bela za America za go. Bena boya ba mo joina ka se pidgin. Sa go Nigeria.
Nigga, ibile
Aba bina
Chris
sepiano,
Brown,
maybe.
Chris Brown changeile the accent.
Yeah.
Mopine ngwana le Davido. Achisa the accent. Tom Panido, Arialo, ile Chris Brown gore hey, wa bona.
Utlwa influence ya
Keep it down. Influence. And I shapa ena Davido relax no kyo. Takwa ba joina re, wa the shapa bitelo ena. Kitso re ke ngoma if. Wa bona it's powerful.
It's a huge fucking
Yeah, no, how it's
phenomenon.
our kwano. That's another.
Wa
Yo,
change.
Chris Brazy.
Ha batla go bona hela se
I'm not
mpulela.
easy
Are
to
ka
please.
mafiki ngwana na le wena na. Re beretsa mfana mo kasi. E bera go spend the weekend le wena. Ha wa go tla bare intle ke sharp right e go tlala.
Hey, 2 days I get hey.
2 days no, that's true.
Gana spitori. Why? Because ba se respect kako. Wa bona. Akanya kwano mme ana stona si pushwa. Yebi. It's like kako pushwa.
Like love.
And obana kwano, obana the only people ba wana le love. Mo bot. Ke batho ba north do. Wa bona. A ke gana re kgona go bua dionyana e seng bo seru. West Town. Wa bona. Obana batho ba le later. Ke motho le re kgona go so. A ona le phatla. A soma
Ngwana ga ntsala we.
yeah,
Just
homeboy ya ga.
Facts.
Tsana ka go south. Ya ka re ntse helana, ha ile re ka spana le tse ke amogela 15. O botla ka CV ke le bana ke re. Tsa kwa go na boswana.
I get it.
Shit, wa go nkgaisa ko ile.
Hey, wa ntwela masay.
Wa go itlela mo buting ya gago. After 4 weeks. Ka kwana ha re soma.
Mm.
One of those people later.
Yeah, I get it. In the north.
Re ka ba bua mas tlakala ka neng. But wana go soma na gone.
But don't have that culture, that togetherness.
Unity, yeah.
I'll give you an example, Skagish. When we were at Monash, there was a Nigerian society, there was a Kenyan society, there was a Zambian
Congolese.
society, yeah. And whenever they did events, and you remember, like I said, I was the one in charge of the sound. So whenever they had something to do, I'd be the one who set down. What was it called? Rabatswana.
Hey.
Hey, but I get it.
Imagine.
So it was
A 12,500 ke lo leina le ba duleng ka.
Rabatswana, right? Yarona was called Rabatswana. How much infighting was there in that institution? How many things did we actually get done? How much power did we have in the school, even though 60% of the school was us? How much power did we have? No, none.
That's deep, dog.
Why?
And go ways. It's like what?
Yeah.
2007.
07 to, yeah.
07. Nigga.
With the
it's been there.
60% of Monash.
Self-hatred.
Yeah.
Can I go on?
60% of Monash was Botswana students.
Shit.
But
Go mona go tshentshela le 27. Go cafeteria. No go apa dijo tse dintsi. Le bera amogetsa ke re fine.
Sharp.
I gotta find this madi. That one day here. After that, re phatlaletse.
Hey.
Ba bereka go tsenana di braai pack here. Bona Batswana.
yeah, it's a thing like that's what I'm saying to you. Imagine a really majority, but like you impact the actual change in the school. If we wanted,
60%.
if we wanted,
The
at Monash,
president ne le Motswana.
yeah,
What the
of the SRC was
Of the SRC.
Nele
Motswana.
Hey.
Sa sirileng ke menyaka e.
Give me a gay.
Hell.
Do you understand? Like there was no actual impact that we made as the students of Botswana. But Nigerians, as few of them as they were, the Kenyans, as few of them as they were impacting actual change. Why? The unity, united stand, right? Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Right. Remember, like you said that the government should actually invest in the arts and all those kind of things, right? So my question is, if a lot, I agree, some people, if a lot of the employers, they like, mistreat them or whatever. But I think it's CCMA, right? But then when it comes to the arts, like for you specifically, right? If somebody promised to pay you and then they don't pay you for a long time, what do you do? You get like, who do you go to and all those kind of things? Or do you just tag it out and be on some, they'll pay me when they want to?
That's a
Or
dope question.
Are you talking about in the industry or in Botswana in general?
In Botswana, ne?
in Botswana or in
Yeah.
your industry, like as a DJ,
And his experience,
and
ne?
in your experience, if
Sharp.
somebody doesn't pay you, where do you go? Because you can't go to the CCMA.
No, you
There's
don't go
no
anywhere.
government like offices that support your craft and all those kind of things. So what do you do?
The second time Cast did his walk, he did it to try and establish an arts council that would then have to deal with issues like that. Um, and I think it's been established, but I haven't heard any movement from it since. But it's been a necessity for so long that I wonder really how it hasn't become a thing. Um, and stories like that are rife in our industry. Where Easy
Some
B's
shit
been doing
happens,
yeah,
yeah,
Easy B's
but
been doing Homecoming 15 years now. He's probably stopped paying people 4 years in, but every year he gets funding, he still does the same event. But as a dweller, as a hearing. You guys just saw this whole saga, yeah. The donated car, right? And there's a lot of memes and there's a lot of jokes about
yeah,
it.
yeah.
And there's a lot of negativity surrounding it. And I mean, I see the gesture that he was trying to do. I see where he was coming from, right? But you know, it's a prime example of how our older brothers, the older generation of creatives, who really should look. They don't owe us anything, right?
Facts.
Let me just make that very clear.
Mm-hmm.
They don't owe us anything,
Facts.
and I think as a creative, you need to let your work speak for itself. Obviously, you need to do a bit of pushing, or a lot of pushing, really, if you want your shit to pop and if you want your things to be, widely received. But it wouldn't hurt to be able to go to Liziwo and say, listen, you've been singing for 10 years. I'm trying to start singing. What mistakes can I avoid?
Yeah, yeah.
Right. And, he should be in a position to say, hey, listen, I don't really have much time. But they go reply like get it 1, 2, 3. Something that doesn't like cost him anything to do for a fellow creative who's really just trying to better their lives. Music for a lot of the people that do it, especially at the level yabo bo Lizibo, level ska, level cast, those guys now have music is no longer their job. They used it to shoot to fame,
Yeah, to elevate.
to then be able to enter rooms they otherwise wouldn't have if they didn't have the popularity they gained from being artists.
Facts.
I don't know a single musician who makes music and solely lives off of that,
Yeah, nah.
which is part of the problem. I'm at the bank Monday to Friday, and then Friday night I'm in Mushopa performing on stage. Right? It's it shouldn't be that way. Jay-Z lives off of like yes, he made his money in music, but then he's able to like then diversify.
Yeah.
But
facts.
even everything that he diversifies into is still tied into what? The entertainment
You
industry.
understand? But
Right.
but I feel like that's what we think, dog. These niggas are not smart, dog. The portfolio, my nigga, is shapalating. Niggas invested more roofing. Like Donya and Urufa, New York,
But how did
all
he
the
make
houses.
his money?
Music, yeah, I
He made his
understand
money
that.
through
What
music.
But anything, alright, this music thing. Masters and music, whatever, it's on the side. But the money that I make, the advance, I can shop, I can diversify a portfolio. What shop, I get more sugar, I can get what. And we have a back when I say, oh shit, I'm hot. Let's get it. And then already thing. That's the problem, you get me?
Yeah, man, it's very frustrating being a creative in this
What do you see
country.
the industry in like 5 years? Not even 10.
In the
5,
same fucking place.
10.
In the same
shit,
fucking
man.
place.
Fuck.
Because of a like it needs a mindset overhaul. It needs a a different school of thought completely. I remember during lockdown, negi bua gore, you know, these bagolo ane ba rona ba mo ministering tsa ko youth bo maese ke ba eng ba eng ba eng ba eng. Those niggas hang paintings on their walls. They call us to cover the events as photographers. They call us to perform at the events as artists. You know, all of it. They listen to our music. They do all sorts of things. You understand? And yet they still don't fully appreciate our value in society.
I got you. Yeah.
Like, how are you gonna have a monyaka without music, my boy? How are you gonna have, a monyaka without those things being captured? That's an entire industry.
I got you.
Like the entertainment industry adds so much value to the South African economy that really every country must take note and really think about how denying us an actual, because there's no actual industry. It's just a bunch of, there's no industry here.
I got you.
So think about what would happen if we actually took this seriously and made it an industry. Look at so in Botswana there's also like it even goes deeper into like policies. And in Botswana there's this policy that alcohol isn't allowed to be advertised. Right? In South Africa there's no such thing. As a result, Castle Lager makes so much money. They sponsor the Springboks, they sponsor the cricket team, they sponsor Bafana Bafana.
I got you. Yeah.
Right? Do those teams not thrive? Bafana Bafana.
Yeah, I get it.
But the Springboks win shit. They win the World Cup. They win whatever. Why? Because money flows. And we're able to invest in things like, developing,
I got you.
Yeah.
Dog, I heard
So
you.
basically,
Oh,
you guys thug it out if somebody exploits you.
We thug it out.
So like when you go to an event, is it like a verbal agreement or do you guys sign something? Because I guess if you sign something, you're obligated
It's legally
by law,
binding,
surely.
but it's legally binding. But when you look at a lot of us and a lot of upcoming artists, I've been playing, like I said, since 2006. I still only charge 5,000 pula to play. I should be charging a lot more, right?
what's stopping you?
I should be at like 20. What's stopping me is that nobody's gonna pay it, even though I'm worth it.
Oh, I feel you. Yeah, no.
Even though so if I'm signing a contract, so if I'm, and I'd like to believe I'm one of the big DJs in the city. If I'm charging that much, then how much do you think somebody that's only been playing for a couple of years is charging?
I got you.
So if he signs a contract that says, 1,000, and then the promoter just decides, nah, fuck that, I'm not gonna pay that
I'm not gonna
1,000.
do that shit. Yeah.
How much do you think it's gonna cost him to claim that $1,000? How much do you think he's gonna spend recovering $1,000? And that's what they count on. Or, he's not gonna have money to take legal action against me. That's what.
Don't you think part of the problem, Gore, like you said earlier, Gore, you only do it for the money? Don't you think that's part of the problem? Gore,
Passion doesn't pay bills, my boy.
Thank you.
Passion doesn't pay bills. Ultimately, you need to understand that it's called the music business for a reason.
I got you.
Because it's not just about music. And you have to understand also that, like on my way to this interview, I was wearing a t-shirt, like one t-shirt, and I hadn't cut my hair. I stopped at the store and I copped this t-shirt and this cap right now.
I got you. Yeah.
Because I can't appear,
I feel you.
even if you had only 5 followers on your YouTube channel. I'm not gonna appear on anything that's gonna go onto the internet not looking my best.
Got you. Scruffy, yeah.
You understand that? And that's how seriously a lot of us need to take our appearance. And not just our appearance, but like the entire brand.
So it's branding, yeah.
So you need to understand that me being a DJ isn't just about me leaving my house and coming to play music for you.
Yeah.
My kicks cost 3,000 pula.
I got you.
Right? My chain costs this much. My ring costs this much. I need to look a certain way to so that when somebody says, oh yeah, I invited the superstar DJ, I can't come not looking like a superstar.
I got you. Yeah. You gotta
There's a lot of
live up
shit.
to it.
There's a lot of shit that's involved in that. I need to cut my hair.
I feel you.
And that's another thing that people don't understand. The whole chain. There's barbers. The barber that cuts my hair, wow, just because I'm a DJ. The lady, the guy that washes my shoes when I take them to get washed, makes money because I'm a DJ. The lady whose food I eat before my gig
I got you.
makes money because I'm a DJ.
Facts.
The guy that designs my t-shirts makes money because I'm a DJ. It's an entire fucking chain.
Yeah. That's what's up. Yeah.
And by being Frostbite, I fed 5 people.
I feel you. What do you have to say about this thing? Yeah, I've heard something like sometimes what let's say like endorsement deals, ne? It was like you get like a local alcohol brand. Baba had 6-pack every week. That's the payment. And they get to advertise and stuff like that, more their pages and whatnot. Is that true, dog? It's not money. Because in SA it's money, dog. They don't give a fuck
Yeah.
about any of that. What one?
In SA,
Like, nah. Money and the packages. What one? Nivea at least plus money.
yeah.
But
No,
here it's like, hey, as long as I get to say I was working with this brand.
Well, the first thing...
Yeah, and that 6-pack le dijo.
You lead the job.
How le DJ at an event.
About poster, talking shit, lele, mararo,
But
and
is-
now, when I'm...
Kana,
Delete that 10. Huh?
Then they lie. Most like
Hey, then they lie.
They paid partnerships. Not
Paid, you understand? Like,
but don't you think go tshwantse go na le kgang ya like molaonyana sort of mo kgang ene o e bua ya gore kgona go tsaya 3 years o sa duele
We're not protected.
isn't that go exploit the woman 3 years
You exploit. We're not protected. There's no law that says you need to pay this guy. Also, minimum wage. Minimum wage is a government like that. So if you go to Showbiz and say, can I think you'll do 800? Do you have 800 because government are now or little or 800? How government are do 800? Then we have to pay them more. So it starts with policy, like I said. We're not protected. Right? We're not protected by any act. In the Constitution, there's nothing that caters for us. That's why even during lockdown, I said, listen, we're starving. But you guys are listening to our music. You guys are looking at our pictures. You guys are hanging our paintings on your wall. We're creatives, but none of you guys think, oh my God, kind of the nigga that's rapping here is at home right now and he can't work because there's no shows.
Thanks.
Right? There's nobody caters for us. Number one. Number two, just recently, when Woolworths does a shoot for their winter range, but they're getting models from that side. They're getting already short fucking campaigns. But we have a modeling industry here.
yeah
Right? We have a clothing industry here.
Facts.
Right? The government hasn't made it impossible. Only now they're starting. But it hasn't made it impossible for guys to export things like that. We have an industry here. We have sick-ass photographers, bro. We have sick-ass models,
Hey,
beautiful models.
No, that's facts, yeah.
But they allow South African companies to come here
Take
with
over.
like you go to Game City right now and you look at all the stores, Foschini, Markham's, Jet, fucking Options. All of those companies, when you look at those billboards, all of those models are South Africans.
Do you think everybody's fighting to sell out? Like, you hustle to sell out? Because you start something, you start a product or whatever, and then eventually you hope for some big white establishment, and they're like, yo, we like this,
Let's
5
copy.
million.
Yeah.
Oh, nigga, yeah, that's what I'm doing it for.
Building in Botswana is
It's for selling out. Nah.
no, it's not. It's not for selling out. It's not for the faint-hearted, my nigga. It's not for the faint-hearted.
Yeah.
And like you need to have an entrepreneurial spirit to your core. Otherwise, you are.
yeah you need
You're
to be
fucked.
patient though.
Yeah,
You need to be
Kore
extreme.
ga o buile gore o sokotse okay I know gore o sokotse sebaka se se kae le
Yeah.
tag, but you were patient
Yeah.
wa itshoka wa ireng
That's
right now oda finally ba go
Doing
duela
most.
kore
Big
but 3 years
superstar.
was too much
3 years is a long time.
Yeah,
man. We can't all. Lucky for me, I've got a mother whose house I can go to if all else fails.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go to my mama's house where there's DSTV, there's
you
internet.
got friends ba go rekela ndi time
You know what I'm saying? Look, I call my boy and I'm like, listen, man,
You understand?
But
Facts.
I'm one of the privileged few. For some other niggas, it's make or break.
I got you, dog.
If he doesn't make it, there's nowhere
He's
for him to
fucked.
go.
Yeah.
You understand?
Shit.
So,
That's
ish.
heavy. I got you, boy. Born. I saw Rishabh freestyle. Why beat? Rishabh beat or why? Can you play a beat? Ah, dog, come on. We gotta sing.
And the episode, yeah, ding, and
Shout out, guys. Thank you so much for having me on your podcast. Goodbye.
The episode, although we've got to the end of the road.